Today's lesson is on estimating and rounding numbers. Sometimes it's not important to know the exact value of an equation, and instead we estimate, we make a rough guess of what the value would be. The benefit of this is it's quick and it's easy. When we round numbers, we bring the number to its nearest 100, 10, or 1,000. These are easy numbers to deal with. They're easy to multiply, add, divide. So that's why when we estimate, it's easier because we're using numbers that have been rounded to very simple numbers. For example, if we took the number 465, we can round this number off to 500. I'll show you how I did that. 465 is made up of 4 hundreds, 6 tens, and 5 units. Whenever we round a number, we round to the nearest leading digit. Now the leading digit in this case is the 4. The 4 represents hundreds. So we're going to round to the nearest 100. Now when you round numbers, you never round down 100. You either keep the leading value as 400s or you round up to 500s. So how do you know if I'm going to round this to 400 or 500? Here's the rule. We draw a line after our leading digit. It's really the number after the leading digit that we're interested in. If it is 5 or more, we round up. If it is less than 5, we keep it the same. So what I mean is, the 6, it's greater than 5. So we're going to round the leading digit up to the next 100, to 500. If my number had been 435, I draw my line after my leading digit and I look at the number next. That's a 3. 3 is less than 5, which means I say we're rounding down, but we keep it at 400. So my answer, my estimated value, is going to be 400. It is much easier to multiply and divide by 500 and 400 than it is by 465 and 435. Because I can simply multiply and divide by the leading digit, 5, which you should know your 5 times tables, and add my zeros or subtract my zeros at the end by moving the decimal point. Here's a little bit more detail as to why we rounded up. If you look at 465, the 6 that we used in order to round up or down is in the tens column. Now if I put this on a number scale, you can see that 450, that's 5 tens, is smack in the center. 460 is here and 465 a little further on. 465 is actually closer to 500 than it is to 400. So therefore we rounded up to 500. If you look at the middle, 450, I would have rounded this number up to 500 as well, even though it's just as close to 500 as it is to 400. Instead, we just have a general rule for everybody. If it's 5 or above, meaning if it's smack in the center, we're just going to round it up because we had to do one or the other. So everyone does the same thing and we all round up if it's smack in the middle of our 200s or 10s or thousands, whatever our easy number's going to be, our leading digit. Okay, I'm going to do 2 more examples for you. The number 19, what would I round that to? Well, step 1, if you remember, look at the leading digit. The leading digit is the 1, which represents 10. So we're going to round to the nearest 10. 10s are 10, 20, 30, 40, etc. Now I draw a line after my leading digit and I look at the number next. If it's 5 or above, I'm going to round this 1 up. If it's not 5 if it's below 5, I'll keep it as a 1. Well, 9 is much greater than 5, so I round the 10 to a 20. And that's how I would round 19, it becomes 20. Let's do 41. I look at my leading digit, it's 4, 4 tens. So again, I'm going to round to the nearest 10. Line after my 4, look at the number that's next, it's a 1. 1 is below 5, so I round down, meaning I keep it as 40. Your turn. You need to round the numbers 37, 351, and the number 9. What would you round these numbers to? 37. The leading digit is a 3 tens, so we're going to round to the nearest 10. Is that nearest 10 30 or 40? Let's have a look. We draw a line after our leading digit and we look at the number next. It's a 7. 7 is greater than 5, means we're going to round up. The next 10 from 30 is 40, so we round 37 to 40. Let's look at 351. My leading digit is 3 hundreds, therefore I will round to the nearest hundred. Is 351 closer to 300 or 400? I draw a line after my leading digit and I look at the next number. It's a 5. The rule is, if it's 5 or above, I round up. So I'm going to round up to the next hundred, which is 400. 9's a funny one because it's a unit. However, is 9 closer to 0 units or 10? 10 technically is a 10, so this is why it's an exception. We actually round 9 up to 10. This time we're going to estimate the value of an equation by rounding the numbers in the equation. If I had the number the equation 19 times, let's say 23. I look at my numbers and their leading digits, 10 and 20. Both have a 10 for their leading digit, so I'm going to round both of them to the nearest 10. Draw a line after my leading digit and I look at the 9 that's next. 9 is greater than 5, so 19 gets rounded up to the next 10, which is 20. Times. Again, do the same thing. Draw a line after my leading digit, which is tens. The number is a 3. 3 is less than 5. I'm going to round down to the nearest 10, which is 20. 20 times 20 is easy to solve. We multiply the leading digit. 2 times 2 is 4. And we add our zeros. I have 2 zeros in the equation. I have 2 zeros in my answer. So 19 times 23 can be estimated to equal roughly 400. Okay, now I'm going to do an addition. I'm going to estimate the value of 47 plus 39 plus 153. 47, leading digit is tens. Is 47 closer to 40 or 50? Well, 7 is above 5, so it's closer to 50. I round up. 39, draw my line after the 3. 9 is greater than 5, which means I round my leading digit up to 40. Look at 153. Draw a line after my leading digit. Do I round up to the next 100, which will be 200, or do I keep it as 100? Well, 5 is always rounding up, so I round up to 200. Now I can estimate the value of my equation by adding my rounded numbers. 50 plus 40 is 90. 90 plus 200 is 290. Easy. Okay, David, I'd like you to answer question 1, 2 and 3 on page 23 of your textbook. Please show your working and be neat and let me know if you have any questions. You can always go back through the video if you get stuck as well. Peter, same for you, but answer these questions below. So you've got 6 questions here, or 7 questions that you need to answer. Please use your workbook, show your working out, and let me know if you need any help.